All right, guys. So today we're going to talk about the live arena win streak. The first event is over, and overall, I think the community had a lot of positive things to say, but also we had a couple of issues and questions. And I'm joined today by the one and only Shini. What's up?
What's up, guys? I'm doing good. The fishing season just started for crayfish. I've been crayfishing for the last 2 days. That's what's going on.
What?
Yeah, so after Shini took me hostage for about 7 hours, we're going to do another collab. He owes me a couple now. So the first question that I had actually yesterday after I finished my third live arena win streak attempt. How many chests, by the way, did you get, Shini? Did you get the gladiatorial chest?
I got the is it gladiator or warlord chest? The warlord chest is the best one, and gladiator is the other one. I got the warlord twice, and then the last time I failed. I will say I wasn't tanking. I didn't do bot battles. I could have. I probably should have. Probably will do it next time if Plarium changes. But I was being like a naive. I thought we would all just play it normally and not be too smart. But I was being a little bit silly. That's not what most other people were doing from what I saw.
Yeah. I mean, I've also went in without tanking, which is also one of the topics we're going to talk about. And I got the warlord chest twice out of 3 attempts. But what I noticed was that I didn't really see any circular gemstones, and I didn't see them in any screenshots as well from other people, from other players. And today I saw you said that in the content creator chat that they are actually not in those chests.
Wait, I'll find you a picture. Maybe you can still show it on the video or add it afterwards. But somebody, I got, tons of people sent pictures what they got as loot, obviously. We were kind of gathering those. And nobody got circle gemstones. And then we were kind of joking about it, that normally everybody complains that we get too much of them. And you never get anything else except circle gemstones. And everybody has 3,000 of those 10% dungeon damage or whatever it is. Mythic gemstones, and then you probably don't have a single mythic gemstone in many of the other different types, which have many cool effects for PvP. But nobody was getting them. Then somebody posted in the chat a picture of data mining, where it said, which I sent it to you now, that the circle gemstones are actually not on the loot table at all. And then I actually asked around, and nobody got any of those. And I did a community tab post yesterday on my channel. Some people did post that they got the circle gemstone, to be fair. Then I asked Parium community manager, and they actually responded and told us that it's not in the loot table, and it's going to be in some other content in the future, but it's not actually in the warlord or the gladiator chests. And up to this day, some people are still saying that they did get them in the chests, but Plarium is saying that's not possible, and that's what the data mining says as well. My speculation would be that probably the circle gemstones might be available from the seasonal rewards. Maybe they revamped the loot table or something.
That could be something, yeah, that could be something. But I'm super surprised actually about this. I was actually expecting them to be in this loot pool because it's so limited, and some of the best gemstones out of this group, out of the live arena group, are the circular ones, like the momentum breaker.
And they're literally called live arena gemstones too, so it would be weird if they added them to tag team or classic arena or something. But I agree with you that the 2 mythic ones from the circle gemstones, they are both really good. Around half of the mythic ones are good for PvP. The rest of them are kind of mediocre or situational or not usable at all. Those 2 are good though. So
yeah, it's a 20% chance to counter-attack using the default skill when an enemy receives an extra turn or instant turn. It's pretty much a budget Solinar gemstone, right? You can make some of your champions a budget Solinar, pretty insane, and then increases the chance for a wearer to gain an extra turn from skills by 5%. That is a lot. So yeah, I mean, most of the, one of the most powerful gemstone in the game. Or both of them.
Yeah, the momentum breaker is generally good, but you need to also take into account that some champions have much better A1s than others. So imagine if you have that gemstone on, I don't know, let's say Tecteon, who does AoE that clears out total card stacks, double hit AoE, and stuns enemies on A1. Or just imagine any good champion with good A1, like Westeel. The A1 has ignored defense based on buffs, and buff strips the enemy team fully, and buff steals if it's a counter attack or ally attack. So Westeel is gonna steal all of your buffs and one-shot you if she procs it. So that's gonna be a crazy gemstone.
And then also we have no chance, if you're not in one of the lower tiers, tier 1 and 2, to get rare gemstones. That's also another issue that I see, where some people say, maybe we don't want to add, they say that we don't want to add, the rare gemstones to the loot table because that would minimize the chance to get higher rarity gemstones. But it doesn't have to be that way. We can add them on top, right, for the higher tiers. What do you think?
Exactly. I hope we get them in bulk. Like, they don't have to do it so that, okay, you have a chance to get like legendary gemstone or rare one, and then you can't get both. They could just have like individual chance to roll both of them. I would also say, I don't know if you made a separate video talking about all of the gemstones overall. I would say that the epic gemstones on the live arena table are all pretty bad. Like, at best, some of them are like very niche usable on some champions, like the accuracy on buff strip or whatever, but they don't have like any like super really good ones that you will use a lot. I think the legendary ones have like one OP gemstone, and all of the other ones are like trash or completely irrelevant. The mythic ones have multiple good ones, and almost all of the rare gemstones are actually really good. They have really good effects. If I had like 10 of all of these rare ones, I would use like tons of them.
Well, I agree on that. The quality of the rare gemstones is definitely higher than the ones from the epics and can compete with the legendary ones, definitely.
Show that take him down triangle gemstone. No, go back up.
Triangular?
Yeah, that's the really good one.
What does it say? Increases the wearer's ignored defense by 5% against enemies whose max HP is greater than the wearer's in siege. So basically a cat's gaze type of effect.
Yeah, and you can put two of these on cat's gaze. It has two triangular slots. This is like the standout among the epics and legendaries. The other ones kind of pale in comparison, but if you look at few of the rare ones, like all of them are kind of like really useful, even if they're not the best, but they're like they have really good effects that are very universal in PvP.
5% more damage, ignoring resistance in siege. And this one right here is my favorite one, where you receive 10% less damage from critical hits. This is insane. And if you compare it to this one, which is a mythical, the wearer receives 10% less damage from enemies with a different affinity. I don't know. It's kind of like why it should be the other way around. This should be the mythical, in my opinion, and this one the rare.
Yeah, both of those are really good, but the blue rare one is actually better, unless, and I will have to ask this from some data miners, unless the way that this thing is calculated works in a different way than we thought, and they're not both actually like just flat 10% damage mitigation, and the blue one only applies to like the critical damage or something like that. There's a possibility, because Plarium often like has very vague and short descriptions that actually lack a lot of the nuance. So there's a good chance that the rule of shielding actually is worse than it reads. But if it's like it reads, then it's significantly better than the mythic gemstone, and both of them are really good.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's raid at the end of the day. Sometimes the wording is a little bit off, but yeah.
Yeah.
So at the moment, no rare gemstones for us, but they will look into it, they said, and maybe add them somehow in the higher tiers as well. And circular gemstones will be added in another way. I'm very curious how that's going to look like. I hope it's not going to be like place top 10 in live arena for mythical gemstones. I hope they're going to add them somehow to the, normal seasonal rewards. But yeah, we will see. What do you think?
I think it has to be the seasonal loot, because if it's something else, then why are we calling it the live arena gemstones? Like, they could just make it arena gemstones. Why even add arena? Unless they're planning to do gemstones for classic arena and tag team arena or siege, which I would be surprised, but maybe they're actually planning to add tons of new gemstones. Who knows?
Yeah, that could be the case. I mean, we have a question mark here, so there might be another group coming soon, right? So who knows?
Yeah, I was telling it to my chat that I pray it's not Curse City gemstones. Please no Curse City. I assume it's gonna be Chimera or Hydra, some kind of PvE content, surely. But please no Curse City, please.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe we have new content coming up. Who knows?
Yeah, Green Forest would be cool. I mean, between all those four, I would prefer Green Forest over Chimera or Hydra, but don't take it Curse City, please.
All right, so let's move on to the tanking thing. Okay, so I know you said you have a very strong opinion on this one, and I kind of have to, because I feel like, tanking in general is something that I don't appreciate as a player. Not only in live arena or for the live arena win streak thing, it is happening like in all other game modes as well, right? It's not only in PvP, it's also in PvE. What is your opinion on tanking in general? What do you think?
Well, so some people are gonna call me hypocritical because I used to talk a lot about the fact that I used to have my own clan before I quit the game, and we had really good time. It was a PvP clan. We only recruited PvP players. We didn't have any Chimera or Hydra requirements, which I hate, which I feel like kind of ruined the game because you can't recruit people based on interest. You need to recruit people based on their account overall strength so that you can get the maximum loot. But we were skipping, like we had a couple different clans, and we would switch to a different one every 2 months or so. That would mean that we had easy time in Chimera and Hydra, and some people didn't like it, but it was good for us. So I have done this. This is kind of similar thing. I will say, though, I think that the tanking is like losing battles on purpose to get easy wins and gaming the system. It's kind of cringe. I mean, I don't like it either. I don't think it's good, but that's how Plario made it, and obviously players are gonna play the system as good as they can, and that's within the rules of the game that you're allowed and able to do it. So obviously players are gonna do it. I'm not gonna blame any players from abusing it, but Plarium is being a little bit silly by letting it happen, and it's still cringe. And before somebody in comments, well, they're gonna say it anyway, but somebody in comments is gonna say that why do you want Plarium to fix this? Just let us fight other people and get our loot and, what's it to you? But just like you don't want to fight Crypto, imagine that your account is fighting some level 50 player using epic champions. Like, you're gonna tank and you're gonna get easy enemies, but other people are gonna do that too. And we're just like passing on the pain to other people. So overall, I think do it since you can and you want to get the loot. But I think Plarium should fix it.
Yeah, I think so too. And I also think it's kind of cringe that it's happening all over the game, right? We have it, like you said, in Hydra. People are doing it, to get a better matchup, getting better rewards because they know they don't have a chance if they face these, face stronger clans, which is fair enough. I mean, everybody does it, but at the same time, what do you think? Is it Plarium's fault or is it the players? I mean, at the end of the day, people will always find a way to somehow game the system. It's been a thing of playing video games or online games specifically since forever.
Exactly. If there's like one build or strategy that is better, everybody is gonna do it. And make no mistake, it's not just like um, casual or hardcore clans doing it. Also, the top clans do it. Literally every single clan does this in one form or another, except maybe the most casual clans who don't look it at all. But the top clans, they will look at their points at, let's say, end of CVC, and they will compare it to the other clans, and they're trying to snipe like one specific clan that they hate, or they're trying to avoid one specific clan that they know that is going to wail too much on CVC. Everybody does it. It's kind of part of the game, really. But it would be kind of up to Plarium to try to try to make it that it's not something that players can do. I will say that I feel like it kind of kills the vibes in the clan scene, that some people are more into PvP, some people are more into PvE. but the clans are kind of forced to do both, and that's why you can't really align the interests. That if you're like hardcore player in either one of those aspects, you have to do both of them. Otherwise, the clan is not going to be good, and yeah, that kind of kills the vibes for me because I don't want to manual like 200 hours of Chimera every week.
True. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It is what it is. It's been like that since forever, right? People been tanking Hydra, Chimera. I mean, in Chimera not so much, but also a little bit since the Clash rewards are so trash and we didn't see any improvement in almost 2 years, unfortunately, but it is what it is. And Siege, even in, classic arena, people are gaming the system, pushing late, right, into platinum if they
Yeah.
can. That's also something that I don't like. I don't know how, maybe a little bit off topic, but if you are like close to platinum and you have like teams like this and you push into platinum and this site doesn't refresh and you still have these one-man defenses like Armiga and you can push deeper into plat, I think that's something that shouldn't be the case. I don't know how you feel about that, but
No, I agree, and this is the thing that many people might not even remember, but they actually kind of fixed it or changed it because back in the day you could get bot battles in Platinum, but Plarium did change it. So it used to be even worse. You could find bot battles in Platinum if you refreshed enough. And I will also say that one aspect of this kind of game in the system that people might not consider bad, that is very commonly done, maybe less so these days than back in the day, but if you remember back in the day, just like you've seen right now, there is one-man defenses, and there used to be this gentleman's rule in the early days of Raid that everybody has to put up one-man defense or easy defense in Gold 4, and at one time, if you were not like in the top 100, most teams would be like one-man defense or like easy defense. You would not see a lot of real teams, especially like in classic arena, and people would do the same team in tag team arena. They still do it, but they used to do it way more back in the day. These days it's a little bit more try hard because nobody wants to tank their tier because they want to be in maximum tier for CVC points. But it used to be like there used to be Reddit threads in early days of Raid complaining about people putting like actual defense teams in tag team and classic arena when it wasn't even the end of the week.
also another thing that I noticed is that if you push like too early into plat and you're like at, I don't know, top 100, and it happened like 2-3 times to me where I got pushed out of plat because of like one defeat, and you drop from top 100 into like out of platinum. That's also something that I don't really like, where you have like this really small gap between top 100 and, outside of plat.
Yeah, it used to be very different. There used to be much bigger gap. Now it's around 20 points between gold and top 100. But you said this happened to you once or twice. It happens to me pretty much every week. During the last platinum reset, my defense was doing really well, and like before I even started pushing, I got pushed to pretty good like level in platinum, and I think the highest rank that showed on my video or on our stream, I was like rank 40 at one point, just based on defense wins. But I probably was better than that. It just hadn't updated. I got tons of defense wins, and then I got hit 7 times in like 1.5 minutes just before the end. And then I lost all of those, and I was like so high. Like I'm pretty sure I was somewhere between like top 20 and top 30. I got hit by really good accounts. 7 losses in like almost a little bit more than 1 minute. It wasn't even 1.5 minutes. And then I got into gold, and then I did couple battles, and I quickly got back to platinum before it ended. But for me, it's always very shaky like that.
Yeah. So, in the best case scenario, you probably just wait for the last, I don't know, couple of minutes, push into plat, and call it a day, right? Like
Yeah.
it's also something that I don't really enjoy because of that, right? And every time something like this happens, where people game the system, it's kind of like, it takes the joy out of it. For me personally.
Well, I agree, but Also, don't misunderstand me. I think the tanking in live arena Winstreak mode is cringe, but I'm not mad at people for gaming the system. If anything, I kind of respect it. I respect people who try to come up with things, and we talked about RuneScape before. You're not familiar with RuneScape, but there is this one game mode in RuneScape. It's called like a Deadman mode, and then there's like how would I say? It's like a tournament, and then everybody dies at the end, and your character completely dies. One time, a PvE player, not PvP player, he won the game mode. You could say by cheating. He found a way to get around the system. He wasn't actually fighting people. He was like in an area where he's supposed to die, but he found like a way to like get food from his bank, and he was just continuously eating food and not actually fighting other players. And he won the game mode, but then they didn't let him win because they weren't expecting somebody to do it, even though he didn't cheat. Like he didn't break any rules that they set. I respect that kind of things. I think it makes gaming a lot more interesting. But Parium should do something about this.
I agree. They definitely should do something. I also I want to say I'm not blaming anybody gaming a system. I would do it as well if I was in that position, right? So I'm not blaming them for anything. It shouldn't be the case. It shouldn't be possible in that sense. And I would put the blame more on Plarium's side for it, right? So but that takes us to the next point where the matchmaking is so weird sometimes. I don't know about you, but during my live arena win streak thing, I kind of faced a lot of low level players, even though I had multiple, I wasn't tanking, but I still was facing like level 77 accounts or something. And I was kind of wondering, why does this happen, right? And it's just the matchmaking is so off sometimes.
Actually, I kind of know the answer. We kind of talked about it. If you look at the content creator chat, obviously don't show it on video right now, but the community managers earlier today kind of alluded to it. But basically, the matchmaking in live arena works a little bit differently during season and during off season. During season, it tries to pair you with people that are around your rating, but obviously that doesn't still always happen. Off season, though, it tries to match you around your power. So you're supposed to get people that would be around your account level. That's why for a lot of people, off season feels much easier because you generally get weaker opponents, but you can just get unlucky. I got some crazy opponents today and yesterday. So, but generally, for me, in off season, it's like I can get like 30 battle win streaks sometimes during off season because I'm used to fighting the guard accounts, and then I get somebody that is like only 20 million player power, and it suddenly feels like easy peasy for me. No offense to my enemies.
Yeah, that's same thing for me, right? I don't know. It is easy peasy for us, right? If you're playing for multiple years and maybe invest a little bit of money, spend a little bit of money, and you have a huge advantage against newer players or people that are not even level 100, right? So it is not fair, even though a lot of people say you can't talk about fair in raid, but I think you can.
By the way, I have to say about that. I think he was level 68 or 86. I'm pretty sure it was 68, or was it 78? I lost to either 68 or 78 level player during the season, like at the end, maybe like 1 week left of the season. I lost to a really low level player. But guess what that guy's first 3 picks were? Sabral, Tecteon, and Solanar. It was like level 60 or 70 guy with those.
I mean, it was probably a little Kraken, on a come up.
Yeah.
A baby Kraken. So yeah, that helps for sure. But yeah, I don't know. In general, I think we shouldn't face low level accounts as long-term players. But yeah, matchmaking is something that is so hard to do in raid, right? Because as you said, there are level 60s, 70s that have insane champions that are spending quite a bit of money, so they are different from other level 60s, level 70s.
Yeah.
So how do you gonna do that?
It's complicated. I would say that I definitely can acknowledge that if we were to do matchmaking based on player power, which I think it's kind of what we're doing off season. Parium hasn't explicitly stated all of the nuances how it is done, but they have said it works like that during the off season. Some people that have low player power but old accounts, maybe they haven't leveled a lot of champions to high level and so on, they would have advantage in a system like that. I'm sure I would, just because I have like generally like good gear and builds, even though I don't have tons or the best champions. But I don't think there's any way to do it that everybody's gonna be happy. I wish we would do the matchmaking at least in the season, mostly based on your like win ratio and like your matchmaking rating than they do it in other games. And I still feel like we should tweak the point system that if somebody is like 1,000 points above you, first of all, they shouldn't really get matched with you. But let's say there's nobody else and you get matched with the guy that is 1,000 points above you, you should lose very little from losing, and that guy should lose a lot if they happen to lose to you. So that's not how it works right now. And I think that's like every single other game does it that way.
Yeah, they only lose like one, right?
Yeah, literally right now, if you fight like during the off season, if during the season, if you're fighting somebody that is more than 1,000 points above you, they will lose 1 point if they lose, and they will also gain 1 point if they win. But you will lose -9 if you lose to that guy. So if you fight Crypto or Panda or whoever during the season, chances are that you're gonna get -9.
That's so crazy to me. That's not proper. That's not a
Yeah.
proper elo system, but yeah, it is what it is. I hope they change it. I hope they change it though, even though the top players probably don't want it to change, right? If they get -9 because they lose of some RNG, they're gonna cry. But I think if you lose to a lower tier account, you should get more minus points. But yeah, we will see.
Yeah.
So should the win streak event be permanent? That is the big question right now. 3 days was kind of short. I don't know how you feel about it, but it was kind of short. Not a lot of players will get the Warlord chest in only 3 attempts. What do you think? Should they expand it, make it longer? How do you feel about that?
Well, obviously it's not just how I feel, but how Parium feels about it.
True.
I will say overall, I like the idea. I like the loot. The loot is very good. I think, fuck, I forgot who said it. Somebody said it in content creator chat. You can double check. I'm pretty sure it was Grim Reaper. He made a good suggestion that they could just expand the time to do the like Winstreak mode system for the entire off season, and then they would just cap out the rewards that you can get during it to level that Parium feels comfortable with. That way, people have more chances to attempt doing it, and it would, give a lot more leeway that more people might be able to, even if they fail at it like once or twice, but maybe they get it once like right and they get the win streak, 5 battles, and then they get the loot, and if somebody else gets it every time, they will have a limit of how much loot they can get. Maybe something like that, but I think it's going to be up to Plarium based on what the community managers said earlier today in the content creator chat. I don't think Plarium has actually themselves decided how they do it yet. Are these events going to be the entire off season? How often are they going to be happening? They said that they haven't decided and they're looking at the data and the feedback about it. So give Plarium feedback. Now is good time to do it, I guess.
Yeah, guys, let us know in the comments below. Do you enjoy the game mode? Do you think it should be expanded? Was it too short? Do you like the rewards? Let us know in the comments below. And I think, it's a nice little addition to the off season. You don't have much to do anyway in off season especially if you're PvP orientated. But yeah, I don't know. It is also a question of, do we really want it to be that long, and do you want to spend the time? Do you want to? It's also a question of inflation, right? Do you want those gemstones to inflate the whole ecosystem that fast? I don't know.
Well, I would say I kind of do. I think it's Raid is the type of game that it's not the champions and the loot is very scarce, so you're not able to really theorycraft fully and play with the full things that are technically in the game. It would be a lot cooler if you had a bunch of gemstones and champions and you could do different kinds of strategies. Right now it kind of works that you happen to get this one like powerful rare mythic relic, you're probably not going to get the other ones, so you have to use it. But it would be cool if you had a lot of options and you could do different things and come up with new strats. So I kind of like that if the gemstones would be plentiful, but probably as always, some of them are going to be much better than alternatives. And if one thing is better than others, and you have the freedom of choice, you don't really, if you're like a competitive player, everybody is going to do the same thing. But there is so many champions in Raid though that there's always going to be like some new things to be done. At least, maybe not at the highest level, but a little bit below it at least.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, personally, I think it's been one of the better live arena editions we've seen in a long time. I don't think it's perfect yet, but maybe we're gonna get there. Yeah, I would love to see it being extended a little bit, at least a week. I think that would be awesome. But we will see what Plarium will decide after collecting the data and everything they need to make a decision. But yeah. With that being said, I think we pretty much talked about everything. Guys, go to Shini's channel, leave him a sub, a like, and show some love. And yeah, anything else you want to add, Shini, before I let you go?
Not really. That's it. Thanks for coming. See ya.
And if you enjoyed this video, YouTube's gonna think that you like this one as well. Take care. See you in the next one.